Good morning, good afternoon, good day, class, and welcome to today's class focusing on writing and writing tips. So let's get right into it. Okay, so let's start today's class. Number one, for writing tips, have a clear structure. Use topic sentences for each paragraph and highlight them. And this was something that we discussed before, and you've seen a bit with your argumentation concept maps in terms of your topic sentences starting off your paragraphs. Also, make sure every paragraph in your essay relates to the argument umbrella, so the general or main topic thesis statement for you guys. Thesis, then to arguments, then to sub-arguments, and then to the evidence supporting them. Again, same flow that you saw on your argumentation concept maps. Number two, keep paragraph and sentence length under control. So paragraphs should range somewhere between half to the entire page. Paragraphs should have a 3 to 4 sentence minimum, and the sentences shouldn't be longer than 1 to 2 lines. You don't want to have run-on sentences. Number three, quotations. Paraphrase as much as possible. Only quote primary sources. There should be no more than 1 or 2 large quotes in your text. How do you quote a source in another language? Paraphrase. Number four, be original and interesting. Would you want to read your essay? What is the point of researching if no one wants to listen to you? So how are you engaging and writing in a compelling way? Number five, include your educated analysis. You've been researching your topic for 1 month. You're an expert on your subject, and your reader would benefit from reading your educated opinion on your subject. You are an expert, so act like one. Number six, write evidence-dense paragraphs. So each sentence should be a new piece of evidence or your educated opinion. Avoid empty and general sentences. You also don't want to go to the extreme of overloading it where you feel like you're trying to force the issue, but for the most part, you don't want to just write dribble, so to speak, in between. Like there should be a point or meaning relevance to what it is that you're writing, each sentence. Number seven, don't thesaurize your essay. The best essays are the ones that can explain with complexity and simplicity at the same time. Be formal, yet easy to read. Be original and be yourself. Number eight, keep terminology consistent. Terminology can reflect important distinctions. Choose one term and stick to it throughout your paper. You can use full version once and an acronym the rest of the time. Terms are different in English and French, as I hope you guys all realize by this point. Examples: vision impaired versus partially sighted, America versus United States, or United Nations versus the UN. Number nine, refers to. Make sure that pronouns such as it and this refer to something specific. They, he, she, it, this, that. Number 10, gender neutral words. Repeating he and she, him and her, his and hers at every reference is clumsy. So you can use they, for instance, or them. Example, not gender neutral. Every artist has learned from those who came before him. Gender neutral but awkward. Every artist has learned from those who came before him or her. Better. Every artist has learned from previous artists. 11, refrain from using I. Example, using I. In my opinion, I believe that pregnant mothers should not consume alcohol. My research shows that my belief is correct. Example without I. Pregnant mothers should not consume alcohol. According to Smith, alcohol consumption can harm the development of the fetus. And this is something that I'm going to look through throughout your papers. I do not want to see any trace of the word I. Use formal language. Stick to third person pronouns. So first person would be I and we, second person would be you, third person he, she, it, and they. And examples of informal and formal, I think, in my opinion, to sum up, in conclusion, in the end, finally, etc., etc. So take a look at this just to familiarize yourself with how to write in a more formal fashion. Number 13, use active instead of passive verbs. Active voice is used when the subject performs the action stated by the verb. Passive voice is used when the subject is acted upon by the verb. For example, passive. The books were brought to class. Active. I brought the books to class. Passive. The flat tire was changed by Tom. Active. Tom changed the flat tire. Passive. The conflict was started. Active. The militant wing of the religious political party started the conflict. So again, use active instead of passive. Emotional language. Avoid emotionally laced words. These will convince the reader that you have insufficient evidence and have resorted to pleading out your case emotionally. It is the academic equivalent to of crying to get what you want, a big faux pas. 15, tone. Have your tone be respectful, non-emotional, as was just mentioned in the slide before. Use a tone that removes stereotypes and assumptions, and one that is confident. Own your topic. Confidence is not something you get once you become successful. It's a skill you learn to be successful. Number 15, editing. Get someone else to read your paper. Bring your essay to the Writing Center. They have specific tutors just for ISSS. And those are the end of the slides for today. Hopefully you guys are continuing along with your work towards having it culminate in the final paper. And if you have any questions, again, please reach out to me. I will be having your corrected argumentation concept maps for you within the next 2 days. Thanks and take care.